Hello there, Internet, and welcome to the Week 3 episode of The Lead Word with your host, myself, Chad Bauman, and Trey Daubert with me as usual. Unfortunately, we lost Dave. Dave will no longer be joining us. He turned in, I guess you could say, his resignation today, actually, in Slack. He messaged us. I didn't read his full message, but Dave was not happy.
Yeah. So if he was here, I would have berated him for at least a half hour, at least, if he was here. But he's not here. So he either made the wise choice of like quitting before I had my comments ready to go for the show, or he made the unwise choice of doing what he did. However you want to look at it.
I kind of feel bad because I think there's some part of this is my fault. It really is.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
No, it kind of is.
You know what? No. Pause. Can we play a game?
Sure.
All right. Here's what I'm going to grab a piece of paper. I'm just going to grab this napkin, actually. I'm going to write this down. I just thought of this. I want you to tell the viewers what time the deadline was for Dave to have the lead word done. I got it written down.
I don't think I specifically gave him a deadline. I don't think I told him a specific time.
Yes, you did.
But
yes, you did.
I do know that
the
discussion was always that it had to be up on Saturday.
Yes.
I didn't give him a specific time on Saturday, though.
I believe you did, but that's fine. I have right here.
Not to Dave.
4 p.m. Saturday.
But I didn't say that specifically to Dave. I said that 2 weeks ago. I said that 2 weeks ago when we did the episode. I put it in the chat that I want to have it done by 4 o'clock. I didn't specifically give that to Dave, though. But again, to be fair,
I think you're wrong.
I'm pretty sure when we recorded the last episode, I did specifically say that it had to be done by Saturday. I didn't say 4 o'clock, though.
Well, I mean, Chad, we're doing a preview of the NFL slate of games that happens on Sunday. In what fucking universe would the video go out on Monday?
No, that I'm not making an excuse there. But I also last Friday I told you guys
that's what pissed me off.
Last Friday I told you and Dave this. I didn't say it on the show. Last Friday was my mom's birthday. So after we recorded, I had to wait. I was taking my mom to the movies. We had to be there at like 5:30 and we had to leave pretty much as soon as the recording was done. I tried to wait for the Zoom to like download, but it was taking too long. So I was like, okay, I'll do it after I get back from the movies. Once I got back, I sent Dave the email with the video, but I never told him that I sent it. And then something happened where I guess my email got sent to his spam folder and he didn't know that I had sent him the episode. So there is a little bit here that's on me. I'm going to take my credit. I'm going to take my credit where my credit is due. I should have told Dave that I sent him the episode.
Nope.
Thinking that it should have gone out on Monday. I'm not going to take any part of that, though.
No. But by the time that, let's say, Saturday at like 7 o'clock rolls around, the idea that guy had not said a word to me about when the lead word episode was being published is not okay.
Well, I mean, he messaged me.
Saying what?
The
episode should go out on Monday?
No, he didn't say that. He messaged me. He asked me if I had sent him the video. And then, so I was actually, last Saturday, I was helping my cousin move. So I wasn't really paying attention too much to my phone. Around like 4 o'clock, he sent me a message and he said, did you send me the episode? But I hadn't seen it yet. A few minutes later, he sent me another message saying, hey, never mind. For some reason, it went to my spam folder. And then around 4:30, I checked my phone because I had a little bit of a break waiting for my cousin after we loaded up the truck leaving, and we were leaving his storage unit. I checked my phone and I saw a message from Dave, and I said back, okay, that's weird. At least you got it. And then I told him the post and everything's already been done. It just needs to go up on YouTube and then have the YouTube added. So, like I said, I'm not taking responsibility for him thinking that it should have went up on Monday, because that's a little bit weird. But I will take my lumps in the fact that I didn't communicate to Dave that I had sent it when
Chad,
I did.
That's the whole problem. That's the whole problem. If this kid had taken an ounce of blame and just been like, look, man, didn't get done on time. There were some problems. We'll be better next time. This kid had the audacity to say, thought the show should have went out on Monday. No. Can't have that. That's when I become angry. No. So I don't know if you saw everything that I did, but I mean, this kid, he tweets like 30 times a day, and that pisses me off, because anybody that tweets that often and doesn't get their job done, I hate those people. So he sent out a tweet about being stung by a bee. I took credit for the bee stinging him.
Yeah, I know about that. I know about the bee thing.
And then I called him out in the Slack, and then I posted the old video that says, here's the lost episode because Dave can't do his job right.
Yeah, I saw that. I watched that.
Yep.
I don't know, man.
That it didn't include the Gus Edwards conversation, but
yeah, I missed that. I was like, where's the Gus Edwards?
Yeah,
but I was a little surprised. I think we've been having some producer issues. I think Bridget definitely cursed this position. She's like, anyone who works on the lead word after me is just gonna be fuck them. Like, it's cursed. That's why we're having so many issues. Bridget's trying to keep.
There's no possible explanation for the words coming out of his mouth being Monday. Those words can't come out of his mouth.
I mean, like I said, I'll take my responsibility where my responsibility is due here. At no point did I ever tell him Monday.
No.
And again, I'm pretty sure we very clearly discussed it either on the recording or before I disconnected. At some point, I told him it needs to go up on Saturday. And
I think we said, I'm pretty positive you said Saturday, 4:00. I am pretty positive.
I know I said Saturday, 4:00 2 weeks ago, because I remember I put it in the video chat. I was like, I need someone to edit the lead word episode.
And
I would like
even
to
if
have
you
it.
didn't, if you didn't specifically say 4:00, if he reads the Slack messages, he would have known from the last time that it was Saturday, 4:00.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago, I said specifically, I'm looking to have it posted by, Saturday around sometime between 1 and 4. And then Hunter got back to
So
me.
if he reads the Slack messages in one of the only channels that he's in, he would have known.
To be fair, that was before he was our producer, though.
Chad, we told him Saturday. How much? The idea that this is even a discussion here that he's not getting blamed is crazy.
No, I mean, like I said, I think there's some blame on him. I'm just saying, I'm responsible for my
loss. All.
I'm going to take my licks.
100%.
I'm going to take my licks here. There's a little bit of this that's on me. Not a lot, just a little bit, just a tiny bit.
No.
I did not tell him once I had sent the video. That part is on me. If I had sent, maybe this could have been avoided possibly if I had Saturday night or Friday night. I mean, if I had sent him a message Friday night, hey, I just sent over the video. Maybe he doesn't wait until 4:00 to send me a message. I don't know.
You know how it could have been avoided if he messaged me one time.
But we're supposed to be avoiding messaging you. We had a whole company picnic about it, where people are supposed to be avoiding messaging you.
That's actually not true. I just want to hear. I want to hear from people if there's a problem. On days that I'm like, hey, I can't handle shit. Sure, don't bother me. I wrote a whole blog about this today. I don't know if you saw that.
No, I didn't see a blog. Is that why he messaged you or messaged us, I should say?
No, I wrote this recently. So this video was just posted on the YouTube channel. Garrett Burrows pretty much called me the best boss of all time, which I liked. I'm for that. So I wrote a blog being like, thank you, Garrett, but also like to throw in there, see how easy it is for like Garrett to do his job. All he does is communicate. He took like 2 weeks off, didn't bother the fucking guy, just told me what he was doing. Dave, I mean, to think that a Sunday show.
It's weird because
no.
You do like, so you're in a weird place because you're very easy to work for, but at the same time you have that wrestler's mentality where it's like, like I got fired for coaching lacrosse because apparently I cursed too much. Like that's where like you're kind of like where you're in that weird, like you're easy to work for, but you have that hard-nosed mentality that like some people just aren't ready for.
Chad, I can't hear the words Monday. I can't hear it.
You think Tanner Pike would have done a better job than Dave?
Yes.
Tanner Pike, a true success story. And
Tanner Pike would have never, and I mean never, had the audacity to be like, thought it should have went out on Monday.
He would have triple dotted you though.
He would have triple dotted me, and he would have probably fucked up 6 or 7 things, but he wouldn't have said those words.
Tanner got any video audio editing experience? But talk about true success story though. Tanner Pike, and to be fair, yep. Tanner Pike actually got it way worse than Dave got it. And
yes,
Tanner's credit, he's still here.
Yep.
And he's like your pet iguana almost. Like
Tanner Pike does his job. I don't bother him. You know who doesn't do their job?
Are you gonna say Dave?
No.
Oh.
the like, it's one thing to like not do a lot of blogs. I can live with those people. It's another thing to claim that you're gonna do blogs and then you don't do the blog that you claimed. That pisses me off. Yeah. So you know who doesn't do their job? Jeremy Rinaldi.
Don't really know who that is.
You don't know who that is? See, that's a problem.
I don't think so.
He's been here for like 2 years.
Really?
Yeah.
I think the name sounds familiar, but I don't remember.
Well, see, Jeremy Rinaldi 2 weeks ago claimed he was going to do a post on Elijah Mitchell because Elijah Mitchell had a pretty good week for the 49ers, lead running back there now. Hasn't gotten done. We're doing a big symbol project. We need all the hands we can get. Cam Moose signed up for a couple teams. Didn't get done. So they're if Survivor happens today, they're the 2 names on the list.
Do I get a vote?
We did lead word today, so you technically did content, so you do get a vote.
Fuck yes, I finally get a fucking Survivor vote. That is excellent. If that happens today, right now, I believe I'm in the lead, 10-8. So, I personally made sure to do 10 blogs on the nose. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Sick.
So, those are the 2 names on the list. Don't tell me you're going to do something and then don't do it. That drives me nuts.
Yeah, that's not a good look. I mean, do you have anything else? Any other comments about Dave?
I mean, I'll probably end up talking about it on Cheese more in depth, maybe. But I mean, it's one thing. Like I made this analogy in the blog. It's one thing to make a mistake. Like I use this analogy. I remember growing up, and there was like a bunch of times my mom would just buy unsalted butter and not realize it. Like she'd come home and be like, "Fuck! I bought the unsalted butter. I grabbed the wrong shit again." It's like you can live with that mistake, man. Like we'll go get more butter. It's okay. You know, somebody makes mistakes in blogs. They misspell a name. There was one of the symbol posts. Somebody listed a player in there. He's like, "Oh, this is a big time player that should help the team out, but he's out for the year." So I fixed the block. I didn't fucking rip the kid in slack. I didn't make a fucking big deal out of it. I just fixed the block. Everybody makes mistakes. You can't sit there and tell me the fucking show should go out on Monday when you're previewing a Sunday show. That can't happen. It can't happen. I can't hear those words.
Yeah. Oh, one last thing, I guess, because this is it's David Jason, I guess. You said in the Brain Trust Slack
Yeah.
with you, me, Carl, Jackson Law, and Krieg, you said that you guys had a replacement for Dave. Does that affect us, or is that just for?
Yes. Well, I don't know what happened to the guy. I sent him a hiring email today. He hasn't responded yet. So maybe he doesn't take the job, but technically I hired a replacement today.
Okay.
So.
Well, we'll see how that goes. Maybe we'll have a producer for 2 weeks.
Well, I don't have high hopes for the guy because his interview wasn't great. He talked about how he's a big Steve Smith Panthers fan. Said he loved him at Fresno State, but Steve Smith went to Utah. So his interview wasn't great.
Well, they're both Utah and Fresno State. They're both red. Maybe he just
They're both red.
Maybe he didn't know who Steve Smith was until he was in the NFL. Just saw the red, maybe in some college highlights, and just assumed it was Fresno.
Maybe we can get it. We can transition into this, but during his interview, I asked him about Sam Darnold. It's like, what are your thoughts on the Panthers? He's a big Panthers guy. Panthers trading for Sam Darnold. He said, too soon to tell. No thoughts. I mean, it's
not wrong.
Give me something, man. You're in an interview, like, for a fucking job. Like, hey, man, like, give me something. Give me more than 5 words. So we'll see how it goes.
We will. I'm telling you, Bridget, she put like some kind of hex curse on the lead word producer position. She's angling to come back eventually whenever she's done gallivanting across Europe.
Listen, if we get to the day where we're making enough money, I may just have to offer Bridget a job to be like, hey, like, here's your salary. Please save us.
All right. Well, you want to get into the Thursday night game?
Speaking of Sam Darnold in the Thursday night game,
yeah.
This will be one of my games that we do, but it's just weird because I've been told that Sam Darnold can't play, that Sam Darnold isn't very good, that Sam Darnold makes all these mistakes, that he's not really a good franchise quarterback. What are the Panthers doing trading for him? It can't possibly always be the Jets' fault. Once again, the team that I tried to hammer and tell people over and over that these fucking Carolina Panthers are going to be sneaky good. And we sit here today and not everything was perfect. This is, we should just get ready to say this now. Not everything was perfect for Sam Darnold. McCaffrey goes down in the second quarter. His offensive line kind of sucked. But competent franchise quarterbacks overcome those things. And we sit here today and Sam Darnold's 3-0. And what's the conversation? Oh, it's the Jets. Oh, it's the Jets. Oh, it's the Jets. Those fucking same people that sat there for years saying, oh, Sam Darnold can't play. Sam Darnold can't play. Fuck all of you. You don't get to change your mind on this. You don't get to have that opinion. This fucking guy's good. And he's going to keep being good. He's 3-0. They play Dallas next week. He's going to be 4-0. And then they play the fucking Giants. He might be 5-0. Carolina's good. And Sam Darnold's good.
He's no picks this year so far, right?
No picks.
I think he's put the ball on the ground a couple times, I think. I don't think he has a pick, though.
Let me double check that. He may have gotten credited. Yeah, so I remember his one pick. I didn't know if it counted as a fumble, but he got his arm tipped and it batted up in the air and they must have caught it instead of it being a fumble. But I think that's his one interception. It was somebody came on the blind side, hit his arm. That's his one pick.
Okay. But yeah, it's not like he was thrown into triple coverage and getting picked off or anything.
No, it wasn't. The pick wasn't really, I mean, I guess you can credit it with him hanging onto the ball too long or not feeling the rush, but yeah, it wasn't him throwing it into a defender.
Yeah, I mean, like and we've talked about this before. Like when it comes to like the NFL, like for some reason it's like the quarterback is seen as like this end all be all of like the team. Like if you have a good quarterback, you know, you're going to be a good team. If you have a bad quarterback, you're a bad team. But it's not like the other way around. Like you could have, no one ever looks at it like, oh, you have a good team, but your quarterback is bad, and that's why you lost, or that's why you won, or you have a bad team but a good quarterback, so that's why the team is struggling. It's because the team around him is bad. I think when you look at all that kind of shit, it's just that, I mean, when's the last time the Jets were fucking good? Like we talked about it, what was it, week 1 when they were going to play Carolina, and Carolina was only they were favored by 3 points basically just for being at home, and it was like, well, who the fuck is on the Jets? Like who is going to score a touchdown? Who's going to make a defense?
You know who sucks right now?
The Jets.
Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson sucks right now.
I think he has doesn't he have like 10 picks already? Because he had 5. He had like 4 or 5 in one game.
He threw 4 against the Patriots. I don't know how many he threw against the Jets or the Panthers.
I think he threw a couple. I think he threw 2. 2 or 3.
This ain't on Zach Wilson. It wasn't on Sam Darnold.
Yeah, I mean, again, did you see the video of that kid on TikTok?
Yeah, I did. I wanted somebody to. Okay, so Zach Wilson has 5 picks. 4 came against the Pats.
I'd have thought it'd been more. I really thought it would have been closer to 10.
This is the craziest part, though. How did anybody not think that at minimum, that Darnold could play? Like, I'm not saying everyone had to say that he's elite or come to that conclusion, or had to say that you got to pay him the bag, or had to say that the Panthers are going to win the Super Bowl. I'm not saying any of that. There are people that legitimately thought this guy sucked, that this guy had no talent, that this guy was a total fucking disaster.
Well, I mean, the crazy thing is that
it's 3 games. Let's not say this is the season. The 3 games, this is the season. But the idea that this guy couldn't play is fucking outrageous. It always was.
But I mean, to be fair, it's not like he ever really played bad when he was with the Jets either. It's just that the Jets were losing.
That's not what other people would tell you, though. That's not what other people would tell you.
I mean, but I'm just saying, like, if you really go back and look at his games, if you look at his stats, he was never bad with the Jets. They
of course.
This is what I was talking about before. They had a bad record, but it's not because Darnold played bad. It's not like he was like Ryan Leaf out there and he was throwing 100 picks every game. But I agree with you. I think and to be fair, a little bit, maybe devil's advocate here, their offense didn't look great once Christian McCaffrey was hurt. So, I mean, who knows how that's going to affect Darnold for the rest of the season. But, I mean, still 300 yards, that's not anything to sneeze at. You didn't have any touchdowns in the air, but I would have liked to see him target Robbie Anderson a little bit more, because now I have 2 points in fantasy.
It's also harder to overcome McCaffrey when he gets hurt mid-game compared to, okay, we have a full week to prepare without him. You know what I mean?
That's fair, because I guarantee 90% of their offense going into the game was get the ball to Christian McCaffrey.
Right. So oh fuck, he's not here anymore.
And then too, DJ Moore got hurt for a couple series.
Yes.
In the middle of the third quarter. So now you're kind of okay, missing one of your best receivers. Now you're missing your best your best offensive threat in Christian McCaffrey. So like I said, yeah, he struggled a little bit. No real clue how that's going to affect them going forward. Because I mean, to be fair, Christian McCaffrey goes down last year, and it really disrailed this whole offense. Now look what Teddy Bridgewater's doing over in Colorado. Now that he's got Melvin Gordon and Javonte Williams and friends.
And Judy's hurt.
Yeah.
But I wanted to bring this up because I am not gonna fucking sit here and let those people pretend that they knew Darnold was good this whole time, because that's bullshit. That is bullshit, because 90% of the NFL fans out there all sat there and said the same thing. Darnold's not good. Darnold's overrated. Why would the Panthers trade for him? He's clearly not even close to any of the quarterbacks he was in the draft class with. He may as well be fucking Josh Rosen. Bullshit.
And correct me if I'm wrong. What did the Panthers give up to get him? They gave only a second rounder, right?
Their net. So it'll technically be this year's too. It was a next year's too.
Right. And I remember at the time saying that was like hands down a steal for Carolina.
Well, think about what the Jets paid for Darnold.
Well, not even from that angle. I just remember, like, at the time of the trade, everyone was like, "Oh, this is a really good trade." Like they acted like the Jets were winning this trade.
Yes.
I specifically remember that, and we had it. Like, I remember saying on the show, like, one, I mean, it's hard to tell about a trade until, like, we see the pick and what it turns into. But even still, a second round pick for a guy that's played really good for this shitty ass Jets team, like, that's definitely
that pick's going to be in the
Carolina.
50s. Chad, that pick's going to be in the 50s.
Yeah, I just remember people acting like the Jets fleeced the fucking Panthers. And I just remember being like, well, no, I'm pretty sure the Panthers just fleeced the Jets because they just got a starting NFL quarterback for a second rounder.
Chad, when the Jets picked Darnold, they had the 6th pick in the draft. They gave Indianapolis 3 second-round picks to move up, then to take Darnold. They got one back.
Yeah, I mean, that's, like I said, I just wanted to bring that up because I specifically remember people being like, oh, the Jets fleeced the Panthers. But yes! I remember specifically being like, no, I'm pretty sure it's the other way around.
Because 90% of the NFL fans out there, and it may be even a higher percentage, fucking pretended like that guy couldn't play.
Yeah. It's sad. And then yeah. I really want the Panthers to make the playoffs. I don't want them to win the division because I didn't pick them. But
can we? I know you change your mind on Kirk Cousins a lot. Sometimes you're in on him. Sometimes you're out on him. He's fucking way better than Kirk Cousins.
I haven't been in on Kirk Cousins for like 3 years.
You used to be.
I was when he was with Washington and he yes. played well. I was in on Kirk Cousins. Ever since he signed the contract in Minnesota, I have not been in on Kirk Cousins because he hasn't played like he's played when he was in Washington.
Can we play a name game?
Sure.
Darnold or Cousins?
Darnold.
Darnold or Matt Ryan?
Darnold because he's younger.
Darnold or Tannehill?
Darnold.
Okay. Those are all middle tier quarterbacks. We're saying he's better than.
Well, to be fair, I'm saying he's better than. You didn't give me.
Well, so am I. Well,
okay.
So am I.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify.
Darnold or Garoppolo?
Ooh. That's a good one. Give me Jimmy G. He went to the Super Bowl.
I would go Darnold, but I don't hate your opinion there.
Did he go to the Super Bowl or did he go to the NFC Championship?
Yes, he did.
Okay,
yes,
yeah.
He did. Darnold or Roethlisberger?
You know how I feel about Ben Roethlisberger. You don't even have to ask this question.
Darnold or Daniel Jones?
Oh, easy, Darnold.
Well, remember the Giants passed on Darnold during the draft.
Yeah,
big topic of discussion. So feels like a fair question. Okay. Darnold or Wentz? And then we'll move on.
You gotta give me my boy. Give me Wentz.
All right. It's fair. It's fair. All right, one more.
Okay, one more.
And they play next week. Darnold or Dak?
I don't hate Dak. Well, I do hate Dak because he's a Cowboy, but give me Darnold.
I agree. All right, go ahead. What's your takeaway?
Okay, going into week 3, we got the Ravens. Who are they playing? Your team
Detroit.
is playing the Lions. Trey, you were 100% certain that the Ravens, they were going to be 0-2 after losing to the Raiders.
Let's be honest.
I too was convinced they would be 0-2 after losing to the Raiders. They're about to be 2-1.
They'll probably beat Detroit, but can we be honest about that game? Kansas City fucking sits there and smells their own farts and takes their foot off the gas constantly. They could have put that game away within the last 12 minutes anytime they wanted, and they legitimately didn't score once.
I don't know if I would say they could have put it away within the last 12 minutes anytime they wanted. I will say that they had an opportunity at the end to put the game away, and they fumbled it away, pun intended.
Let me double check this. I don't believe they scored in the fourth quarter, which is completely unacceptable because they were moving the ball. Let me double check this.
They got a touchdown.
They got 0 points in the fourth quarter. None. They could have put that game away and they lost by 1. They could have put that fucking game away any time they wanted to, and they didn't.
My point is, I feel like, and you say it all the time, oh, the Ravens, blah, 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 they suck. I'm in a worse place than the Eagles, blah, blah, blah. I'd rather be the Eagles. I would rather be the Ravens. I would rather be the Ravens. And they showed on that Sunday, was it Sunday night or Monday night? They showed on whatever night it was,
Sunday night,
that given the right opportunities, they can beat Kansas City.
No, they can't.
And they can.
The only thing that proved is if they play them again in the playoffs, they won't win because they already got their win out of the way.
If everything goes right for them, if they run the ball with Lamar, they put it in his hands on the ground, they can beat these top teams in the AFC. That's what it shows. It shows that.
The Chiefs didn't score a point in the fourth quarter. Not one.
And you're not going to give any credit to the Ravens for stopping the Chiefs.
No.
You're just a hater. You hate your own team.
No.
Yes.
Dad, Kansas City sucks at covering the spread. All they would have had to do was kick one fucking field goal in that fourth quarter, and they were in range how many times?
They were in range enough times to turn the ball over, I'll tell you that.
They turned the ball over quite a bit in that fourth quarter.
Yes, they did. You got to give the Ravens some credit here. That's my point. Yes. Do I still think that Kansas City is the better team? Yes.
Yes.
But do I think if things go the right way, if the Ravens play mistake-free football, can they beat the Chiefs?
They didn't play mistake-free football. First fucking play of the game, he throws a pick six.
Okay. Again, true. but the best teams, they can make mistakes and then overcome it by capitalizing when another team makes a mistake. That's what the Ravens did. And again, I don't think Lamar Jackson is the best quarterback. But as a player, you can't deny Lamar is a gifted athlete and he's a talented football player. He might not be a great quarterback. But he's a good enough quarterback to throw touchdown passes to Hollywood Brown when he's open. He's a good enough quarterback to get the ball to Mark Andrews when he's open. And then the rest he could do with his legs. He had 200 yards rushing. He was responsible for 300. I said it backwards. He had 200 yards.
I got it right here.
He had 200 yards rushing and 100 yards passing.
100 yards rushing.
Whatever. I did it backwards. He was responsible for 300 yards on offense.
Yes. Chad, this is really, and Baltimore should have never won that game. But the reason why they did win the game is you can't let Tyson Williams average 6 yards a fucking carry. Tyson Williams can't average 6 yards a carry.
But Tyson Williams averages 6 yards a carry because Lamar is there to pull the eyes of the defense. Now, I mean, granted, nobody in the fucking NFL covers the RPO, the covers the option like you're fucking taught how to do in high school. Like, because usually the way you fucking stop an option is
Kansas City's run defense was horrendous.
True.
Horrendous.
Yes. But at the same time, some of the reason why they could not stop the run is because of the dynamic rushing element that Lamar brings to the table. My point here, Trey, is you have to give Lamar his credit where his credit is due. Again, I'm not saying Lamar is the most accurate or greatest fucking passer. He's never going to be Aaron Rodgers. He's never going to be Tom Brady. But you agree Michael Vick was a pretty good, maybe not thrower of the football.
I think Michael Vick was way better. I think Michael Vick is way better.
Michael Vick was on my team. I think as a pure runner, Lamar is the better runner than Michael Vick.
But you had Michael Vick post jail.
Yeah, but I also had Michael Vick with Andy Reid where he was a better thrower of the football.
Oh, he was way better of a thrower of a football at that point. Yeah.
Before Mike Vick went to jail, he was basically just fucking hope Algie Crumpler catches the ball.
But their team was awful. I mean, awful.
With the exception of Algie Crumpler and Warwick Dunn was a pretty good running back. They had Roddy White. No, that was Matt Ryan. They didn't have Roddy White. That was Matt Ryan. Either way,
their team was really bad.
Michael Vick was a bad thrower of the football because, and he said this once he was with the Eagles, no one really ever taught. Like, he didn't even know how to hold the football. He's like, no one taught me how to hold a football until he was.
They didn't have a good coach at all either.
My point here is that as a pure runner, I'm going to say Lamar is better. I don't think he's not a great thrower of the football. He's good enough to be a quarterback in the NFL. But with if you add his rushing element to it, he can win you games, possibly get you to a Super Bowl, but it would be hard. It would be hard because you'd have to go through Kansas City, but it can be done.
This is why people like you make me so mad, Chad, when we talk about this Lamar Jackson thing. The idea that he's like considered this great quarterback is crazy. You like
what did I just say? What did I just say?
Just let me finish. There are people that legitimately think he's better than Josh Allen. And it's crazy. It's not a fucking debate.
I again do think Josh Allen is a better quarterback. But
yes.
But it's not a Josh Allen versus Lamar. It's a Josh Allen with the Bills versus Lamar Jackson with this Ravens team. If you put Josh Allen on this Ravens team, they're probably still going to be pretty good because Josh Allen can still throw the football. He can run the ball. He can still run the ball. And
Marquise Brown looks pretty good. I think they'd be all right.
Again, that's my point. If you swap the two quarterbacks, Lamar on the Bills would not be as successful because their team.
Oh, he would be horrible.
But on this Ravens team, the way it's built to capitalize on Lamar Jackson's strengths, they're a good team. They're a good team. If everything goes right, they could win you a Super Bowl. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not saying it's likely because they still have to go through Kansas City. They still have to go through Buffalo. But if everything goes their way, Lamar Jackson's running the ball. He's doing his thing. He's maybe not turning the ball over. Their defense is getting stops like they did against Kansas City. They could go to the Super Bowl. It's a possibility.
Kyler Murray could go to the Super Bowl.
Your point is? Yes, I didn't say that was wrong.
Lamar Jackson's not going to the Super Bowl.
If Jimmy Garoppolo could go to the Super Bowl, Lamar Jackson could.
I can't do this right now.
As a player, who would you rather have, Jimmy Garoppolo or Lamar Jackson?
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Kirk Cousins or Lamar Jackson?
Lamar.
Ryan Tannehill, Lamar Jackson.
Lamar.
Jameis Winston or Lamar Jackson?
Jameis Winston.
Even with all the interceptions he threw last week.
Yes.
Not able to move the ball against the Panthers because
Yes. I think Carolina's going to end up being really good.
Carson Wentz, Lamar Jackson.
Carson Wentz.
I would take Carson too. My point is, you can't just look at Lamar as a quarterback because he at this point he's more than just a quarterback. Lamar Jackson, he gives you more than just the standard quarterback does. He's Andy Dalton with the running ability.
You may as well be his agent because here's the real problem. When he gets paid, it's going to get ugly. He's not making anything right now.
Well, again, like I said, everything has they could go to a Super Bowl if everything pans out right for them. The same way Nick Foles took the Eagles to the Super Bowl because everything panned out right. Lamar could get to the Super Bowl the same way.
Can Kirk Cousins get to a Super Bowl if everything pans out right?
No. As far as Kirk Cousins' career is concerned, everything is already panned out right for him. He had Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen. Look at it. He had the game he played last week. He had 3 touchdowns. Like 2 of them were like all yak touchdowns. He threw like a 10-yard pass and Thielen took off down the sideline. Same with his second touchdown. So no, everything is already panned out right for Kirk Cousins. We're seeing the ceiling. We're seeing the ceiling already. Lamar, again, I don't think he's a great thrower of the football, but he doesn't have to be because he's dynamic with his rushing ability.
Can I do my second game now?
Yeah, give us your second game.
Okay. So I want to talk about this Dolphins-Raiders game because while I do not think the Raiders are a good football team, they may end up getting the scheduling break of the fucking year. Tonga Valoa is not going to play this week. Jacoby Brissett is going to play this week. And not only that, yes, the Bills' defense is better than the Raiders, but Miami's offensive line is so bad that I don't want to say it's impossible, but how the fuck are they going to win a lot of games here?
Miami or the Raiders?
Chad, Miami. Chad, guess how many pressures they gave up against Buffalo last week? Do you know the number? Because I do.
I think it was like 46, wasn't it?
No, that's outrageous. They didn't even throw the ball 46 times. Let me tell you how many times they threw the ball.
It was like 46% of their dropbacks were pressured, I think it was. I know there's the number 46 is in there somewhere.
Okay, so Jacoby Brissett threw the ball 40 times. How many times do you think he was pressured?
38.
28.
Okay.
Still, their offensive line is the lowest rated offensive line in the league by a mile. Their left tackle, Austin Jackson, gave up 9 of the pressures by himself.
And no plans to replace him, too, by the way.
No.
Like they came out, then they said that, yeah, we know he sucked, but we don't think he sucked enough to lose his job yet. Well, like, how bad is their backup if this guy like is that bad and they're like, no, I don't think we should switch yet.
That's the thing, though. He sucked at USC. Everybody knew he was bad at USC, but the excuse around him was, well, he had some bone marrow transplant, so we'll think he'll get better. That was the conversation around Austin Jackson. They knew he was bad. It's like, well, he had a bone marrow surgery, so we think he'll get better. He's not getting better. He's just bad. I don't know how they can win games with this offensive line. Like, I don't know how anybody's going to win games with this offensive line. And now that Brissett's in the game against the Raiders, I think the Raiders are going to be 3-0. They don't deserve to be 3-0. They're not a good football team, but I think they're going to be 3-0.
Well, I mean, let us talk about the Raiders for a little bit here, because
one more thing on Brissett. He didn't score a point last week. So go ahead.
No, yeah. I mean, Miami's just, they're bad. So, and that's a shame because I thought they'd have a pretty good year coming out with Tua. I would like to take credit for this because I did say that my one concern was what their defense was going to do. It looks like their defense
was good in week 1. In week 1 it was.
Well, who'd they play week 1? I don't even remember.
New England.
Yeah, so And Mac Jones really moving the needle for you?
I don't think we can say anything on Mac Jones yet, but
Well, I mean, whatever. Either way, I think I said, their defense was kind of going to be a key factor for them. And I think, they got the brakes beat off of them by Buffalo. I mean, although Buffalo's pretty good, but maybe you'd like to see it stop every once in a while.
Buffalo coming off a bad loss against Pittsburgh. They were angry. They want to kick the snot out of somebody.
Yeah. So, I mean, that does bring me to what I wanted to ask you about the Raiders. So, I mean, any thoughts here on the Raiders beating a Steelers team who, no. I don't know, they're not terrible. Like I said,
This is what Pittsburgh does. This is what Pittsburgh does. We know what Pittsburgh does. Ooh, big win against the Bills. We're playing the Raiders this week.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, I still don't think the Raiders are going to have any shot at their division, but
no.
Are they good enough here for a wild card spot?
No.
No.
I mean, this is quite the scheduling break, though. I'll tell you that.
I mean,
is there a better time you'd rather see Miami? Is there a better time you'd rather see Miami than right now?
I mean, that's true, but I mean, at the same time, their schedule is not real. I mean, not super tough. I mean, they got the Chargers after this week. Next week, they're playing the Chargers, but I mean, the Chargers, I
don't think they're better than Denver, which is a problem.
Yeah, but
if they're not better than Denver, they're sure shit not better than Kansas City.
But I mean, you got to look at it this way. They're also off to a 3-0 start. And then they
haven't won yet. They haven't won yet. They probably will.
I'm pretty sure they'll get the W. I feel like I would take
when it comes to the Raiders, we can't count wins before they happen.
That's fair, but I would take Derek Carr and a mediocre Raiders team over Jacoby Brissett and
this shit show of an offensive line.
Right. I mean, Max.
Are they better than the Chargers?
I'd like to say no, but to be honest with you, after the fucking, I don't even know what to call it, just fucking shit show that we saw against the Cowboys with their Chargers, I have to question whether or not the Chargers even know how to play football.
If you want to say they might sneak out better than the Chargers, fine. I don't think they're better than Denver.
By the way, I have to admit that the fucking penalty at the end of the game against the Cowboys with the Chargers, the illegal formation or whatever that took the touchdown off the board.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, they got an illegal formation at the end of the game against the Cowboys. The Chargers did. They took the go-ahead touchdown off the board, and then right after that happened, they got a sack on Herbert.
Is that when Herbert threw the pick in the end zone, or no? Is that a different possession?
That was a different possession. This was right at the end of the game.
I thought Dallas kicked the game-winning field goal at the end.
Yeah. So no. What happened was the Chargers were in the red zone and they had the ball on like the 1 yard line. They got a flag for.
Why am I not remembering this?
They got a flag for like an illegal formation or something or other that took the touchdown off the board. And then Herbert got sacked on the next down, and then the Chargers kicked the field goal, and or did they kick a field goal? Or I think they kicked.
I need to look this up.
Either way, the penalty at the end of that illegal formation they called was a bullshit penalty. I think. I don't think that should have been called at all. And I'm not just saying that as an Eagles fan.
So I see here at the end of the game, they kicked the field goal to tie it. And then Dallas kicked the field goal to win it.
Yes. When they kicked the tying field goal, they should have had a touchdown. Okay. But they got a penalty for an illegal formation, which again, I think was bullshit.
I see it now.
And then that's when Dallas went down and kicked the field goal. Chargers got shafted, but
it does look like Dallas had plenty of time and didn't have to kick a field goal.
Right, because Mike McCarthy's a terrible fucking coach.
Yes.
Decided that we need to kick this 56-yard field goal in order to win.
Yes.
And they had enough time to get like another
It
10,
looks like
15
they
yards.
had plenty of time to keep going, but they kicked the long one for no reason.
Yeah, they had enough time to get. So what happened was they ran the fucking ball on like second down, like a jet sweep on like second down.
Yeah,
where
I
they
got
could have
you
gotten
now.
like another like 10 or 15 yards if they wanted to.
Yeah.
But again, tangent here. I would like to say the Raiders probably wouldn't be as good as the Chargers, but again, that shit show of a fucking showing that they had against Dallas, I don't know. I mean, whatever the fucking Chargers coach's name is, he might be fucking Anthony Lynn 2.0. It seems
Brandon Staley, which is what I was worried about.
like I don't know how you could possibly be worse than Anthony Lynn, but fuck it. Maybe this guy has a secret. I don't know.
Well, I mean, 3 years ago, I think he was like a college linebacker coach.
Must have been some pretty good fucking linebackers. Did all those guys end up in the Hall of Fame or something? I don't know.
He was only a defensive coordinator 1 year, like ever.
Yeah. Either way, I guess my thing here is that I think you got to give this game to the Raiders. Like I don't see how Miami wins. I don't see how Miami wins.
I'm giving the game to the Raiders.
Well, you said not to count your chickens, so I
don't think we should. But having said all of it, I think the Raiders probably should win.
All right. Anything else?
And they're not a good football team.
Yeah.
Last year they started out 6-2.
And they missed the playoffs.
Yes.
Anything else on this game, Trey?
No, Miami is, I mean, they're fucked. They're almost fucked.
Yeah.
You can't win with an offensive line like that. I don't care who your quarterback is. I mean, even your guy, Myles Gaskin, he's doing nothing because he has no shot.
But he had like 9 points in week 1.
Yeah, New England.
Yeah. And Tua was still the quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to talk about the Eagles and Cowboys, but I think I've changed my mind.
Okay.
Because I did want to point out that I feel like when I said the Eagles would come in second or third place last week of the division, I feel like that was proven by what they did against the 49ers. Their defense will probably be the strength of the team this year. Although still, technically speaking, I don't think their cornerbacks are going to be that good outside of Darius Slay, but I don't think they've had the opportunity to show how bad their cornerback situation is yet. But like I said, that doesn't really change anything for the division. I still think the Cowboys are going to win the division, and then the Eagles are going to come in second or third place. So instead of that, what game do I want to talk about? Let's talk about the Saints, Patriots. I do like the Saints here, just because I think that New England's offense is, not super duper great. I mean, what did they have? 4 picks against Mac Jones, and they only did what? Got like 20 points.
Wilson. Yeah.
Yeah, Mac Jones. Yeah, that's what I meant. They picked off Zach Wilson 4 times, and they only got 20 points out of it last week against the Jets.
They should have scored way more for sure.
So, but I mean, that being said, my thing with the Saints is what Jameis are we gonna get? We're gonna get week 1 Green Bay Jameis. Are we gonna get week 2 Panthers Jameis?
I had no idea with this game. I had no clue.
I do think that the Patriots defense has some players. I don't think it's as good as Carolina's, but I do think they have some players.
And they're always well coached, so it doesn't really matter who they have.
Right.
That game you just mentioned, if you told me any result, I'd believe you. I have like almost no analysis on it. I couldn't tell you who's going to win. I don't have a fucking clue.
I'd like to take Jameis aside here, but I would have to imagine that.
I would love to take Jameis aside here.
I would have to imagine that Bill Belichick is going to get him confused, right?
No idea. This game I'm clueless about.
Yeah. Mac Jones, again, he's I think he has like the highest rookie completion rate
By the way, I think
so
the
far of
Saints
all time.
defense is pretty good.
Well, yeah, but that being said, too, Mac Jones, like highest rookie completion rate of like all time so far through 2 games. But that being said, it's that the Patriots offense where everything is like 5 yards of the line of scrimmage and nothing's ever downfield. So
Played the Jets.
yeah. I mean, even week 1 though, I mean, so far, I think he has 1 pick, but Mac Jones not throwing a whole lot of interceptions.
Fascinating game. It's going to be interesting. I honestly don't have much on it.
Gun to your head, you have to pick one team. Who would you pick?
New Orleans.
I'm leaning that way too, but at the same time, like I'm scared Jameis is going to have a bad day.
As am I.
Alrighty then. Anything else, Trey? Closing thoughts?
Nope. Nothing.
Okay. Oh, and I gotta bring this up because Krieger said the other day in the Slack, he was like, he was like, oh, I'm a pro because I always hit like the plugs and everything and the Twitter handles at the end of the episodes. I gotta say though, Krieg, if you're watching, I got that from watching Brian Tan, because Brian Tan is like he's always gotten all the sponsors and everything. So I can't take credit for that because I got it from him. So I do want to say that. This is something funny that I saw in the Slack the other day. Anyway, so if you haven't already, go to our Patreon, check that out. We still have it for some reason, even though I don't think anyone's ever done anything on it. You could be the first person to do something on our Patreon. So check that out. What else do we got here? We have follow the show or follow the site Vendetta_media. You can also follow Trey and I at Trey Dauber for Trey, at Low Footed for me. You can check out pods_Vendetta. We have a separate podcast Twitter. I don't know if that's the accurate Twitter handle, but I'm pretty sure it's close. So it should come up anyway. You have the Instagram you can follow. You can like us on Facebook. Don't forget, we have a TikTok, but the interns never post on it like they're supposed to. But if you go over and follow us on it, maybe they'll start posting like they should. Also, don't forget with week 3 in the NFL, you definitely might need some extra money coming up. Holiday season, you got Halloween, got to buy some candy. After that, we got Thanksgiving. You might have to travel to go see some family for Turkey Day. And then after that, it's the big one. Christmas is coming up. And, maybe if you don't celebrate Christmas, you celebrate, Kwanzaa or what's the other one that's around the same time as Christmas? I can't remember what it is. It's the one with the candles, the menorah. I don't remember what the holiday is called, but I know they use the menorah. Either way, if you need some extra holiday monies, that's where I was going with this tangent. You can always check out Symbol, spend some money on your favorite sports teams, MLB, college basketball, NBA, NFL, trade some stocks with your favorite sports team. Code Vendetta will get you $10 off or a $10 site credit or something along those lines. You can check out Monkey Knife Fight. They're our other sponsor. If you use code Vendetta, you will get up to $100 match on your first bet. So if you put in $10, they'll match you up to 10. If you put in $1,000, you'll get a $100 match. Again, especially with this NFL season, we kicking off. We got all these new bets coming in for the NFL. So go ahead and check those out. Other than that, thanks for giving us a watch, and we'll see you next week.